Hello guys, and welcome to this episode. And this episode will be covering some basics command that we can be used that you can use to navigate through the Linux interface. And we have covered quite a lot of commands and processes from the installation part of it to this point. Now, what we want to dive in is the configuration part of the network. So let's dive in. So from the interface, we have you have an interface like this. This is the terminal. Click to open the terminal. So what we'll be doing this on this episode will be confirming our internet, our IP address, our MAC address, and as well configuring and changing them. They are quite important to understand how to change your IP address or your MAC address, depending. Maybe you are doing some operations that you need to hide your IP address, or maybe there is a firewall that prevents certain MAC address that can be allowed to pass through. In so doing, we can be able to navigate. So to start with, after opening your terminal, to check your internet, your IP address, and everything pertaining to your internet, you just say ifconfig, lowercase ifconfig. So by doing ifconfig, you can see we have our internet over here, IP address over here. And this is our interface, our first interface. Actually, Linux starts to count from 0, so this is the first interface, Eth0. Eth0, internet 0 is the first interface. If you have 3, will be have internet 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is the first one. The second one will be 1, Ether 1. So this is our IP address. This is our net mask. This is our broad mask. We have other information over here that is irrelevant at this moment, but we have also our MAC address over here. Our MAC address is divided into two parts. The first part, it gives a unique identifier of the organization that created or embedded that system. So, and the next portion, next half gives a unique series of the system. So in this case, we have here, these are MAC address. And below over here, we have the loopback. The loopback is used to relay information about the software is running within our systems, just like the human anatomy, whereby if you have information from the brain that needs to relate on your toe, the brain works that it gives the sense the signal. So the same thing with the loopback. So our IP address, in this case, the brain is here is the IP address. This is the local address, and here is the net mask. So you can confirm if really our system is communicating with its internal operations by doing a ping. Give it four commands. Let us ping 4 times. So our IP address is 127.0.0.1. So you can see we ping and take a count of 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. We can just do a normal ping until it give a lot of information that is relevant. So you can even ping 3 times, 2 times, just the way you want. So we transmitted 4 packets, like I said, 4 times. 4 were received, as you can see here. 0 packet lost, so which means the information is being relayed and everything is working internally. So let us confirm if this IP address over here can be able to communicate with the external servers or the external internet. Remember, this one, the local address or the loopback does not communicate with the external devices or other endpoints, but it only relays information within the system itself. For this point, if you want to confirm if we are really connected to the external environment or the external internet, so you can give it a ping of, in this case, let us give it 5. Our IP address is 0 to 17. Confirm. Yeah, 0 to 17. So yeah, 5. As you can see, we have 5 pounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you said, So we transmitted 5 packets, we tested 5 packets, 5 were received, and we have a 0 packet loss. This is the time that took. So that's how it is. It means that there's a positive connection to the external endpoints. So let us clear this one. So you can also confirm the wireless interface that you are connected to our system by using ifconfig confg. So there is no wireless extension for the loopback. I showed you the loopback. This Ethernet, there is no wireless extension. So both interface there is no wireless extension. Now we want to check on something called what is default IP address, or yeah. So you can check like this. The gateway, I mean the gateway. So this is the gateway. You use root n and you get this the gateway. So without further ado, let us jump into the program of the day, or the business of the day. We want to make a configuration of our IP address. You want to change this one. Maybe as I've said, maybe there's a case where you want to infiltrate, or you want to get through a certain internet, but there's a firewall that's blocking only certain IP addresses have been whitelisted. So if you want to achieve that challenge, you need to be able to know how to configure your IP address. In this case, let us start by doing ifconfig so because this is the interface that you want to deal with, now you give it there. So 10.0. So this 17, let us give you something like 22. Maybe our target is to have maybe only a device with this given IP address 10.0.0.22 has been whitelisted for the firewall. That's one, the only one that can communicate relay information. So in that doing, let us use 22. You can just use it whenever you want. So net mask. So 255 let us say 0. So let us change this last octet from 255 to 0. We'll learn later on how why we're using 255 and on what classification of the internet that we get when we use this kind of octet. So the next thing is the broadcast. Let us use the broadcast. Let us change the broadcast. So the broadcast is 10.0.2. Let us use like 4 here. 255. Yeah, let us confirm everything. Then config masks. Yeah, fine. So it will refuse actually. This it will refuse. The reason being, we cannot do some configuration if you are not root level. If you are not on the root level, you cannot do such kind of configuration. So to achieve that, so what we will do, let us clear first. Let us escalate our privileges to our root. You say sudo su, and it will ask you for your password. You input your password. Fine. So we are in the root level, as you can see. We are root. So let us try again. So it's if config. Remember, let's just check first our. Yeah, okay. Let us have it like that. So if config our interface. You remember our interface is there. So IP address. Say 22. Let us put the net mask to 255 0 broadcast. So it's 10.0.4. Let's use 255. So let us confirm that this one is fine. Yeah. As it is done. It's whenever Kali Linux gives you feedback with no anything, like the command line just returns nothing, it means it's a positive feedback. But when you have an error, it will give you a feedback with an error. So it's positive, it's a positive feedback. Let us confirm our IP address right now. As I said, to confirm my IP address or anything, your internet particulars, you just use ifconfig. As you can see, we have whatever we inputted, 22. This one we changed. You can try to compare with here to 025. So this one, yeah, 00. The other one is 025. You can say our broadcast channel. This one it is from 17 to 22. So that's it for the IP address. Now next thing that we're going to do is to change this MAC address. As I said, MAC address is quite important to understand how to configure it, because when it comes to digital forensics, if you have infiltrated a system or a network and you want to hide or obfuscate yourself, so if you have a MAC address as one of the devices MAC address on the organization of the network, you can be able to relay around, you can escalate yourself and do a lot of things. But and also when it comes to forensics, it will take time before they realize that there's something wrong here. There's an IP address that has been copied or has been emulated. So in this case, let us work on the MAC address, and I believe when it comes to internet configuration, we are good to go. So let us clear that. So to change the MAC address, we say if config our interface. Of course, we're working on the same interface. We say HW because that's the hardware. They said a MAC address is embedded, it's a built-in interface to the system, but you can change or use the software like the way you're going to do right here. So HW, that's hardware, then the ether, but you need to put it down first. Sorry, to put it down, we need to put that interface down. So you have to say if, let me clear that just a minute. So if config let us put it down. Yeah, like that is fine. So right now you can be able to configure again. So after putting making sure the interface, this interface is down, you cannot configure when the interface is up. So it's up and so you need to put it down. So we come if config the hardware either now or let us, I think we have first to get the MAC address. As you see, it's down, so we cannot get it. So let us put it back first up so that you can have the MAC address, so that you can change to the one that you want. So let us just do if config. Actually, at this moment, the system cannot communicate with the external endpoints or devices. It can only communicate internally because of the loopback, as I said before. So let us return the system back. Okay, so let us check. Config. So as you can see, it's up. So what we want, this is the MAC address, this one. Let us copy it. Clear. Config. So it's down. So if it's fine. So it's config. this is our MAC address over here. So you want to change it this to it's 16. Let us use like 8. This point over here, let us use like let us use 9. 8. So like that. So let us return our interface app. Okay, sorry, it's up, so it's fine. Let us check. So let us check if it has been picked. Yeah, here we have E9 8 compared to this one. Let me paste it over here. You see this one? I just changed the last digits, but you can change the whole series depending on the need. Maybe you have the right target that you want to conflage. So in this case, I just changed that one. It's fine, it's up and running, it's okay. Now you can after configuring like this, sometimes your system might take some time before picking or starting to configure to synchronize the configuration and start working with the internet. Let us confirm if indeed we can connect to the internet. So let us give it four commands. Let us ping a Google server. Yes, it's being transmitted for packets, transmitted or received, so it's fine. You can also use this another address for a Google server, 888. So you can connect to the internet, everything is working. Now sometimes you can finish the configuration, as I said, and the synchronization is not up to, it's not up. So what do we do in such a case? We refresh our system. So let's say sudo systemctl restart network manager, like system center. So if you do like that, I don't know if you can be able to see the toggle over here. It's not, but the moment you do there's a toggle up here, it will pop in and pop out, and it will refresh the internet configuration. Yeah, it's fine. So we are good to go, and I believe to that point everything is working, and everything is good. So thank you so much at this point. Please remember to share, subscribe, comment, and in case of anything, please let me know on the comment section, and we'll be covering much more time. Thank you.